Hello you guys, Casper here. Welcome to this amazing channel. If at all you are new, and I hope you will be a subscriber very soon. Now today I just want to show you one game that I played against a really strong female grandmaster in the Yearly Super Blitz Arena, which occurred yesterday. Now I did a little research and found out that her FIDE peak rating is 2218, so quite a strong woman grandmaster. And just a little spoiler, you're going to see the Stonewall Defense, which I played against her rating opening. Alright, let's go. Alright, so there we see the rating opening. What am I going to play? I think the Stonewall Defense. So F5, and I think both of us joined this tournament very late, which is why we are very far. And I can tell by my opponent's rating. Let's go to Stonewall. I think knight to F6 first. I can tell by my opponent's rating that she's not so much into online ratings just like myself. But anyways, let's see how she's going to respond to my Stonewall Defense. So I covered this defense in the video that has popped up in the card above. Once you finish watching this video, you guys, you should watch that video. It's a very interesting video. Okay, so bishop b2, let me go c6. The idea is to go pawn to d5 next. That's what we do in the Stonewall Defense. By the way, I like playing the Stonewall Defense against White's Fianchetto setups like the Catalan opening, the English opening, and the Reti opening here. Anyways, bishop d6, preparing to develop my queen's knight on d7 just to over control the e5 square. I emphasized on this point in the video that is already in the card above on the Stonewall. So White played pawn to d3. I think let me just go knight b d7, yep. The idea is to go pawn to e5 next. Yeah, I think pawn to e5 makes sense. You guys, look, just because the game started as a queen's pawn game, it doesn't mean you should forget about pushing your pawn to e5. In fact, e4, e5 is the heart of chess. So White played knight h4. What can I do here? I think, oh, knight h4 actually attacks my pawn on f5. So let me protect it with my light squared bishop. That's why I've played knight back to b8. And if c takes d5, I'm gonna take with my c pawn anyways. My light squared bishop is protecting the f5 pawn, so no worries. What is the GM going to play here? Let's see. Pawn to e4. I think I should take with my f pawn. Let me advance my d pawn. Yep, gaining more central space. It's very important to do this in chess. Space is very important, you guys. Even in relationships, you need a little bit of space. Okay, c5, I guess I need to take. That was a clearance sacrifice. Oh, knight c4. I think White is attacking my e5 pawn, so rook e8 makes sense. Protecting my child from the eyeballs of a GM. So now the rook is protecting the pawn on e5. What are they going to do? I think the game is done on the king side. Yep, which is why they've played a3. Let me go pawn to b5 here. Next, I'm going to play a5. Okay, so knight d2. I think let me go pawn to a5. It's like the game has now shifted to the queen side. You can see, you guys. So queen c2, let me play what? Oh, the queen is attacking my bishop. I think my dark squared bishop. I think let me play bishop b6 here. So I think you guys can now see what I always talk about. Once you notice that there is NGO, nothing going on from one side of the board, you have to shift your attention to the other side of the board. Okay, so White played b4. I think let me go pawn to a4. Completely locking up the queen side, and maybe next I'll play rook s7. Okay, rook c1 by White, rook s7, just like I said, controlling the 7th rank, very important. Knight to f5. Can I take that knight with my light squared bishop, or rook c7 first, ensuring my c6 pawn is well defended, and also eyeballing the knight on f5. So queen d3. Now I need to play pawn to g6, ensuring that I do not entertain my enemy's pieces in my territory. I don't have to allow them. So knight b d7 anyways. Now planning to go knight f8 and knight e6. Knight, oh, rook c2, knight f8 anyways. Rook c1, I mean rook fc1. Now I can go knight, I think queen d6 first, overprotecting my c6 pawn, since two of White's rooks are attacking it. Okay, so pawn to h3. What next? knight e6, I think, sending more troops to Babylon. So white played knight f3, bishop d7. The plan is to go rook ec8. So secret number one for you guys, play where the tension is, okay? Unlike what I see most amateurs doing. I think pawn to c5 here, a pawn break. Look, the game is on the queen side, so I don't expect to see anybody to start playing from the other side of the board. So let me take that pawn anyways with my knight, and yeah, queen f1, queen back to f1. Now let me play pawn to d3. Oh, knight h5. I think knight h5 makes sense. The idea is to sacrifice my knight on g3 and push pawn to d3 some other day. Oh, rook ec1, now rook f8, eyeballing the knight on f3. Now you guys, I'm getting low on time, so I need to behave. I need to slow down a little bit in terms of my commentary. So bishop a5. Knight e1. I think let me play... Oh! I'm running low on time. Knight f6. Getting ready for rook fc8. Just some time wasting moves. I think rook fc8 here. Okay, knight f1, queen e7. Oh. I just want to flag my opponent. I think bishop b3 next and queen c2. Come on, let's go queen c2. Okay, so there we are, you guys. My eyeballs almost went out of my sockets, but thanks to my elbows, which were quick enough to plug them back into my sockets. Now let me just analyze this game before I end this video, you guys, but be sure to subscribe to my channel if at all you haven't already, and hit the like button if at all you enjoyed watching this video, you guys. Now let's go. Okay, so the game started as a Reti opening, and then I took it into the Stonewall Defense. Now, the Stonewall Defense is basically a pawn structure, you guys, just like the Stonewall attack. I like playing this against the fianchetto setups. Now, knight b d7 and bishop d6 is what I like doing in most of these positions to over control the e5 square, okay? So, white played knight b d2 and then knight h4. And knight b8 is what I played in this position to protect my f5 pawn. White played e4 and then I took and opened up the position. c5 was some kind of a clearance sacrifice by white, but I missed that move anyways. I just took, and white was just planning to attack my e5 pawn. Now, before they played a3, I was able to identify that the game was on the queen side and not on the king side. When they played a3, I immediately switched my attention to the queen side and played b5. So they played knight e2 and I played a5 because that's what the game is. That's the tension I talk about, you guys. And queen c2 was attacking my bishop, so I played bishop b6. See where the game is, you guys. So a4 is what I played next. I wanted to take, but I played a4 just to lock up the queen side and bring in my other rook in order to put it on c7 next, or maybe just controlling the c7, I mean the 7th rank. Knight f5 is what my opponent played, and then I played rook c7 to over control the c6 pawn. And the game went on as follows. Yeah, my light squad bishop was attacking the knight, but after a series of moves, I just decided to start defending my c6 pawn because I noticed that that's where the game was. You can even see how I brought in this light squared bishop. I mean, it was doing nothing on c8, right? And white was planning to take on e5 so that they could take on c6. That's why I called for help and backup, so to overprotect my c6 pawn. So to get rid of this tension, I decided to play a pawn break and open up the c file for one of my rooks to sit there. In fact, as you saw in the game, I noticed there was nothing going on here. That's why I played knight h4 here, so that later on I can play rook ec8. Maybe if g4, I was going to plant my knight on f4, or maybe just retreat it back and put it back on e6. But the game proceeded as follows. We were both in time pressure, and here what I was just thinking of is flagging my opponent. Yeah, I noticed there was nothing going on from this side of the board, so I wanted to shift the game to the king side. But anyways, due to time, we started playing for time. I mean, here it was just chaos. I wanted to flag my opponent, and here is where the game ended. So you guys, I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to learn more about this defense, the Stonewall defense, feel free to watch the video that is already in the card above, where I covered more lines in details. I mean, how to play the Stonewall defense against most of the d4 openings. Alright, until next time.